Move. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better now, but this light is more, I think, very brightness is very high.
Yes, because it's very sunny. It's very early in the sun is
Oh,
very. That's why.
it's okay,
In the
ma'am.
window.
Okay, so let's start now. So my name is Pradeep, and I'm from India.
Nice to meet you, Pradeep. My name is Isabel, and I was born, which is a country in South America,
Hmm.
but my
And
family
right
is from
now,
New Zealand.
your father is from New Zealand, and your mother is from Ecuador.
Yes,
Yeah, I know you are really happy to enjoy this multicultural uh, country like New Zealand and Ecuador. So now you are living in New Zealand.
right now I'm in Ecuador. Just I've been here 6 months.
Okay, 6 months, great. Okay, so ma'am,
Yeah, I came back.
uh, I'm a student of agriculture science. I'm pursuing my third year, and I'm preparing for IELTS exam.
That's
Yes.
very cool to give.
Uh, I'm planning to give my test after 3 months because now my speaking is not too much good. I'm intermediate level now.
3 months, you mean?
Yes, yes, ma'am. So for that, uh, I'm prepared question to make this conversation very healthy. So I have a question to asking because without topic or without any type of lesson, the class will be like we are just simple talking, so not be worth it, right?
You're very
So
prepared.
yeah, because I'm using Cambly application last 2 months, so I have experience to how to talk with teachers.
That's very good.
Yes, ma'am. So my first question is, how do I improve my English more? Now at intermediate level. Now I want to switch intermediate to advanced level.
Well, what I would recommend you is how children learn how to speak. We learn listening to our parents
Hmm.
in school, like do, but you learn how to speak to other people speak. So usually, I would say um, do your daily activities. Like for example, you can put your phone in English language,
Hmm.
so then everything is in English, and you're practicing because you're going daily, right? If you watch a movie, watch it in English. If reading books, which is something very good because books give you wide vocabulary. You're gonna learn new words, and yeah. So I would say that you can put your phone in English language, so then you're using it every day and you're practicing. Watch
Okay.
movies or shows in English, and read books also in English.
Okay. It means as much as I can totally make it environment in English. I said totally make environment about English 24 into 7, then automatically your English will improve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So the next question: Can we speak English fluent without grammar? It is true or just a lie?
Can you be a fluent English without grammar? Well, that's the grammar. I think you
Hmm.
can just by listening to a person that speaks fluent English. And I can tell you this because when I was little, I was and raised in Ecuador, right? So
Hmm.
I learned in school. My mom would speak to me in Spanish, and my dad would speak to me in English. So for a long time, English without knowing the grammar rules, and I just knew how correctly. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I just
I
knew
know.
how the things went.
Okay. And because of your father, without grammar, you are able to speak English very fluently because your father is from New Zealand and you know Spanish language very well because it's your native language. So here,
Yes.
without grammar, you also speak very fluent two languages.
Yeah, well, Spanish I did learn in school, but you
That's okay.
learn from listening to others speak. So if you listen to me or to any other tutor speak, you do
Hmm.
the right form
Yeah,
of saying things,
yeah.
and you
It means basic grammar that enough. No need to very heavy or very advanced grammar, right?
I unless you're going to teach, then you need to study grammar rules because they ask them a lot.
Okay, so my next question is very interesting. Listen carefully. Which experience would you like to share about your education journey? Which is most interesting?
Journey.
Yeah, which
Well,
experience is very interesting?
I graduated from high school 1 year,
Hmm.
so it extends education still. But
Okay,
I traveled to Canada to get education for teaching. That was very nice. I never went. Um, well, I traveled to the, but Canada is very
okay.
different and it's very nice.
So your high school study complete in Ecuador or New Zealand? Okay, so you are not
I
living at in New Zealand for study. Your whole study high school complete in Ecuador, and now you are just 12th pass out student.
I'm a yeah,
Yeah. So how old are you now?
19.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Can you guess my age?
Uh, Let me try. Probably like 30.
30. Oh my God, I'm 21.
21?
Yes, ma'am.
You look older than 21.
Yeah, it's okay. But like I'm pursuing my third year of my graduation, so I have complete my 12th class in 2019.
You graduated from high school in 2019.
Yes.
That's not,
Okay.
that's when COVID started.
Yeah, before the COVID-19.
That's
So
very good
the
because I graduated still during the, well, kind of after the pandemic, but we still had to wear masks and a lot of people could come to graduation. We didn't have our graduation party, so very
hmm,
sad.
yeah, it's okay. So my next question, I want to go New Zealand next year. So uh, I want to come to New Zealand after 1 year. So what are the things that I should take care of so that I do not face any kind of problem after coming to New Zealand?
Um, well, it's different because I'm a citizen, things I don't need. But I'd probably say Going, do you know which
Auckland.
Auckland, okay, that's where my sister used to live. It's a very big city.
Okay. No, my question is that related to student life, like what type of problems we are facing to move in other countries.
I don't think you'll have many problems because there's international students that move to New Zealand to study English, study university. There are lots of different cultures that live in New Zealand. So probably you will make friends very fast. I would say, yeah, I'm not sure if you would have any problems.
Yeah, because if your English is good, then you would help and you can ask anything for anyone, right? People are really most of the people are helpful.
People are very friendly there.
Okay, okay. So in your whole life, how much time you are spending in New Zealand? Like only summer season?
Yeah.
Okay. So your father and mother living together in New Zealand, or it's father also living in Ecuador?
He lived in New Zealand and then he moved to Ecuador and then he met my mom and they got together here and their lives here.
Okay,
And
great.
we've gone back and then back here.
Okay, okay. So my next question is, what is the main difference between local Maori culture and Kiwi people in New Zealand?
Well, there is a very big difference. These are the natives from New Zealand.
Yeah,
They are a
it's a traditional.
strong culture.
It's a tribe.
Pardon me?
Maori, it's a traditional tribes culture.
Yeah.
Okay, and the Kiwis are totally
If you
different.
not totally different. Of course, it's the same country cultures that have been adopted. Like, for example, there is the natives and there's the ones that got mixed. So in New Zealand, it's the same because
Okay.
by the English. So then there's a mix of cultures. There's the native plus the new culture in one.
Oh,
So
you know the word, a Maori word, kia ora. We say, how are you? Maori say kia ora.
yeah,
Yeah, it
a lot
means
of places. In a lot of places, you're going to see they use the English and the Maori. In my passport, the English, and then there's in small words how you say it in Maori, because they're very proud of the they have, and I think here in Ecuador they don't really like the native language.
Yeah. So, like, what is the most special thing about New Zealand that you like very much?
Well, New Zealand is very beautiful. It's a very special country.
Yeah.
I would say the views that it has, all the nice places you can go to, and if you go to Queenstown, if you go to Christchurch, if you go to Wanaka, there's a beautiful landscape that you can see. There's it's like everywhere you look around, it'll be very beautiful.
Okay, so
Also,
there is a weather condition also very cool there. Temperature is not in minus, or you can say always summer season or rainy season.
pardon me?
It means your network is not okay to hear my voice.
No, I can hear you. quite get the question.
It's okay, ma'am. So, my next question is the golden tips to learn English according to your experience.
A tip to learn English.
One golden tip only.
I would say practice every day. If you go to New Zealand, just
Mm-hmm.
speaking every day, you're going to learn very fast because you're going to be pushed to speak.
Okay. But when I want to think in English and speak English, how to make habit? Always think in English.
How to think in English.
Yeah. Because we are very comfortable in native language.
Yeah. Well, I guess it just happens like naturally once you've learned a lot,
Hmm.
practiced a lot, you become fluent, and then your mind also becomes more aware of that. Like they always ask me this question: do you think in English or do you think in Spanish? But it really depends on what language I'm speaking. If I'm speaking to you in English, I will think in English. If I'm speaking to you in Spanish, I will speak in Spanish. It's just like automatic, it'll just happen.
Okay, great. So it depends on your practice, how much you practice, how is your effort about learn to language, right?
Yes.
Hmm. Great, ma'am. So the now question is over. You can ask me anything.
Okay, so how come you go?
Because I'm an agriculture student and agriculture is very advanced in New Zealand and the dairy farming sector is very advanced and I really love to do agriculture work. That's why I select New Zealand for my study.
And how long are you planning to stay there for?
For New Zealand, I want to stay my whole life. First of all, 2 years study, 3 year work permit. After that, permanent residence of New Zealand, and the whole life. I love to live in New Zealand.
Great, so you'd like to move there definitely.
Yeah, because my lot of Indian friend also living there, so it's very similar to me. And my friend is always contact me whenever you come to New Zealand. Please contact. We are always help. So it's very easy for me to survive there.
Have you like got all the accommodation, all the study, everything ready?
Not yet because now I'm not apply my study visa. But when I book my flight, after that I will contact my friend or my friend circle, students, teachers. So they will provide everything for me. And even I'm also able to find out, right? I'm also well educated. I'm also able to book hotels, room rent, and finding where those who are giving a rent for rooms. And it's very expensive now because after the COVID-19, the inflation is increased in New Zealand also because lot of international students go there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, rent is quite expensive in Auckland.
Yeah, but I think if I apply directly work visa or job, if I find out any job offer letter from New Zealand, then it is very easy for me to direct earning a dollar, not spending money on university. That's what do you think about this idea?
So going to work is
But who
but
can
you
give
still
me an
want to
offer letter? But who can give me an offer letter?
who can give a what?
Who can give me an offer letter? First of all, job offer letter is necessary for apply work visa.
Well, any company would give a letter if you apply online. Like for me, for example, I applied for a working visa for Canada, and I moved there for 1 year. And
Okay.
I applied online for a job, and there online you explain to them and you speak and you tell them you're from India
Okay.
and you want to
So
move and like a work letter.
yeah, I research a lot. So for that, getting a offer letter, CV and resume is very important to apply job and impress the company owners.
Yeah, I like to work in though.
I like to work in agriculture sector like dairy farming, tractor driving, and this kind of work. I really like it.
Yeah,
I like to work in horticulture
yeah.
sector.
I
Yes,
think you could get a work letter like that in the
but
agricultural work.
if you have any friend those who are in farmer of New Zealand, that will help me, like your father friend or anyone.
I'm not. I also all of my family is there, so I will
Yeah.
ask them.
So your father or your father family is working in farming sector or other job?
Well, they have different jobs. Like for example, my sister is a nurse, my auntie
Okay.
is a teacher, my cousin is a guide.
And your father?
Different jobs. My dad is also a tourist guide and an author. He writes books.
Oh, great. Tourist guide and author. That's great. But if you have any other relatives, those who are work in farming sector, that will help me if you ask them.
I will ask of someone that's working in the farm sector. Also, because
Yeah.
most of my family live in the cities, which are the farm there. If you go to the countryside in New Zealand, you're going to farms, especially the ones
Hmm.
that sheep, because New Zealand like has a lot of
Land and animals. Yeah.
lot.
New Zealand is famous of animals, cows, sheep. These are very famous in New Zealand, and milk production is very high all over the world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
so that's why.
find a job in the farming side because they raise animals that are very like not chickens, but cows and lamb.
Hmm.
They're like strong
Yeah,
and
and
very
after the flood come into February 2030, after government start recovery visa, like very harmful flood is come in February month in New Zealand. I think disaster.
there was
Yeah,
there was flood in New Zealand.
yeah,
Yeah, lots of rain
yeah,
in
yeah.
Auckland.
So,
It was
yeah.
underwater.
Yeah, so after that, government provide recovery visa within 1 week. You can get work visa if you are eligible to work on this sector.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a very good opportunity.
Hmm. Yes. So now the time of feedback, because we have only 5 minutes left. So how is my English and where I make mistakes to improve my English?
Your English is very good. You are
Thank.
intermediate, and I would say it's more you are very close to advanced English. So, as I
Okay.
said, I would recommend you to watch movies or listen to
Mm-hmm.
also music in English. About that. That will help. Like music, listen to English music.
Okay. English music, English movies, English newspapers. These are really helpful.
Yeah, it's like living your life in English. What you would
Hmm.
do in daily life in English.
Just like Phil, I'm right now in Auckland and I'm going
Yeah,
to university, so everything is in English.
correct. Yeah, that's true. Even in your work, you're going to use English. And like for example, I have a friend. He spoke English, like basic words in English, and he
Mhm.
moved to Canada because he lived one
Oh,
year in the United States. In the United States, they speak Spanish in most. There's a lot of Latin people, a lot of Latin people. So they speak in the United States was you could get everything in Spanish because everyone speaks Spanish there. So he didn't
okay,
practice. He
great.
just communicating skill. But
Yeah, and um, yeah, that's good.
once
But when I
Canada
once I move New Zealand, then automatically my English will more improve, right?
will improve. So I'm telling you, once he moved to Canada, obligated to speak English because they don't speak Spanish there. So he had to try and learn, and at the end, now he is also like intermediate, almost advanced in English because he was pushed to learn the language.
Okay. So tell me about Ecuador little bit. Like its weather condition is minus temperature over there, or always sunny or cloudy weather.
Ecuador is a subtropical country.
Hmm.
There's no sea apart from winter. I mean, windy season. There's sometimes it'll be very windy, sometimes it'll be rainy, sometimes it'll be
Hmm.
very hot. But it's not like winter, autumn. There's not the four seasons. It really depends on
Oh,
where you're at. Like if you're at the coast, because Ecuador is divided in three regions. If you're at the coast, it's hotter. If you're at the Andes one, it's the mountains. It's gonna be colder. If you're in the Amazon part, it's a bit humid and it rains a lot there. It's like a
okay, great.
raining forest.
So
And the
you are in
place
the
where I
middle
live,
one.
I'm in the Andes side. I'm down south of the Andes. So here it's very nice weather. I would say it's like one of the nicest weathers in the world.
Okay. So when you will go New Zealand next year, or when you complete your studies?
I will study university in
Canada.
no, in New Zealand. I will study by distance the first year and then I will go there.
Oh, okay.
In
So maybe next year.
which university will you study in?
I'm really confused about the universities. Which is the best universities for masters in agriculture science? Is Massey University?
That's the one that I'm going to study. Massey.
Uh,
There's one in
Massey University is
Auckland.
best. Yeah. So what about the IELTS band required for Massey University? IELTS exam band required for getting admission in Massey University is 6.5
Yeah.
or 7 or something.
Well, I don't really know that, but like for example, since I studied in a Spanish school, they did ask me for a degree or a certification that I know fluent English. So you're probably going to need that also.
Yeah, because my native language is Hindi, so probably universities ask about English proficiency.